Okay, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the delay. I was supposed to upload this 2 days ago, but I've just kind of been a little lazy. But good news. I mean, some of you obviously saw the case study on my channel, so that was really, really awesome. I have had amazing feedback on it, so thank you for showing your support and your love. It's been really, really good, and I feel like it's going to help out a lot in terms of outreach. Case study is on point. I've decided to put the two videos together, so it's just one. I think that was the right decision there, a smart one. And yeah, we have our first asset in terms of like actually having proof of concept, which is just amazing. Took a while to find this vehicle and the way to do it, but we got there in the end. Okay, so I just want to quickly celebrate that again. Thank you for every praise, every love, every heart emoji. It's really cool. Okay, so thank you guys. First things first. Okay, second thing is I want to kind of maybe I'll title this episode in this way. I almost actually got banned on Instagram, which would not have been fun at all because then I would have to start from zero in terms of followers and the account setup and whatnot. So that would be really annoying. But pretty much what happened is I have this extension. It's called IG Plus, and it pretty much blocks Reels on Instagram, so I don't get distracted, and it's actually really effective. But I kind of was playing around with the settings a little bit, and I think what happened is I started switching on and off some settings pretty frequently in like a span of just a few days, and I got a suspicious activity warning like 3 times. And the last one kind of scared me a little bit. So yeah, I decided to just take a few days off from outreach. I think it was like Friday and Saturday that I didn't do outreach. So that was a bit of a bummer, but it doesn't really matter, okay? It was just something interesting that I thought I'd share with you. So if you're going to use this extension, then use it, but be careful with switching off settings because then Instagram triggers it as like a bot behavior. So that was pretty cool, I guess. Anyway, besides that, outreach has been actually quite okay. So what happened is I think I finally figured out the approach. So what I've been doing the past, I guess, week, or actually just 4 days, I created this new strategy that I was doing before, like at the very, very start. And I did it for 4 days, then I got the suspicious activity warning. This was last week. So, and what happened is I got like 4 responses, positive ones, from just like 40 messages. And that's when I realized, like, okay, this is it. And the reason this strategy worked was because, I'm going to explain it in a minute, was because I've actually used this before. At the very, very beginning, in like July or August, when I first started outreaching, and it worked really, really well. But then I started switching it up, and I basically kind of screwed it up, right? And I didn't go back to it because I thought it was flawed for some reason. I thought I could better. And when I was thinking about it on Sunday last week, I remembered this working very, very well. So I literally just used the same exact script. And like, lo and behold, look what happened, right? So the strategy is simple. You call out a very specific problem. So the first line is just personalization, but a kind of personalization that calls out this very specific problem. In my case, it's pop-up conversion rate, right? Like, notice your pop-up seems to be converting at, I don't know, 2 to 4% in my opinion. It calls out a very specific problem, right? It seems specific, like I did my research, which shows there's more effort. And it's also really personal, right? Because if they are into these systems, into getting them better, and the pop-up is crappy, then it will relate, right? So I really recommend you guys, whenever you do personalization, don't just compliment them. No, call out a specific problem, because that works extremely well and much better than anything I've ever tried. A specific problem. Now, I used to do a personalized line that was like, hey, looked over your website, came up with a few ideas. And while that's cool, it's not specific enough to get their attention, if that makes sense, right? So it has to be a specific problem, something very little. Which brings me to my next point. You have to provide some sort of free value, even if it's little. Like in my case, I just make a simple pop-up that takes me a minute or two to make. and I send that as a solution to that problem, right? So the next line is the offer, which is pretty much like, hey, I can double that, okay? Hey, I can double that. Here's social proof, right? I pretty much use the case study as social proof to get their attention and to build trust. And then it's just a simple CTA that says, hey, I can record a video going over this if you want more information. Now, two things that I realized. With the first DM, you don't really want to pitch your offer. It's a little different from email. You want to add an extra step and just get their attention, right? So I'm not pitching like, hey, I'll make you 20, 25 grand in 90 days. No, I'm just saying, hey, I can help you solve this problem, right? So that gets their attention. And then when they respond, I send them a loom, which basically covers the strategy. And that's when I pitch my offer, right? So it's a little different from the email strategy I used to do, which was like pitch straight up, because this is a little more friendly and personal. And yeah, I'm gonna see how it works. Right now, I basically remade the strategy a little bit and included a way of doing also welcome email with the pop-up. It's pretty much just like the top of the image of the welcome email, so I'm not actually designing the whole thing. And I'm adding that as free value. So I'm gonna see how that performs. A bit of a bummer is I'm finally home from school for 2 weeks and I cannot send outreach for, well, today, tomorrow, and the next day because it's Christmas, right? I mean, it's kind of pointless. I mean, some people would respond, of course, but the issue is I can't really know the true metrics and if it truly works well, right? It might give me a few responses, but I don't want to just waste the leads I have, okay? So I'm going to wait, I guess, for Friday and Saturday this week. I think that will be after the holidays a little bit, so I guess I could maybe start outreaching then. We'll see. Or next week on Monday. It doesn't really matter, frankly. But during this time, I'm just gonna, and I recommend you guys do the same if you're like a copywriter or whatever, a marketer, email marketer. Just really enjoy your time off, source leads, iterate, and that's pretty much all you can do, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do, and that's what you should do as well. And let's see, anything else I wanted to talk about? Not really. I think that pretty much covers it all when I think about it. There's nothing really in particular that I forgot to cover, I don't think. Yeah, no. But I'm actually really proud of this strategy because it's on Instagram and I mean, I can explain this as well. So I was thinking about doing LinkedIn as well, but then I realized if I split my focus between two platforms, and with LinkedIn I have zero experience, zero idea how to write scripts, it's completely different. It would just take away so much attention from Instagram. So I just decided to ditch LinkedIn and go all in on Instagram because that's where I got the best results so far, and just figure it out. So this is the strategy I'm using. It's about 20, 25 of these free value pieces a day, which is really tiring work. Might need to lower that, but we'll see. And I have like a confidence in the system because like you put in the effort, the personalization, you stand out, there's an image that catches their attention. It's just, I mean, it's the best, I think, possible outreach script I ever came up with. So yeah. Well, anyway, guys, that's all from me. Enjoy your holidays. Merry Christmas. And I'll see you next week. Peace.